Hello and welcome to Artigan Flight 001. This is your captain speaking. If you are traveling through to another dimension, you are in the right seat. A dimension not only of sight and sound and mind, but an adventure into a wondrous new vibratory frequency. We'd now like to tell you about some important safety features of this aircraft. The most important safety feature we have aboard this aircraft is your attention. While aboard, please feel free to peruse the literature in the back seat pocket in front of you. You'll find additional psychically channeled messages on the Patreon spacecraft, as well as extra occult esoterica such as psychic ability, remote viewing, astral traveling, psychokinesis, and proper psychic hygiene tutelage. Those tiers on the Patreon spacecraft begin at $11.11 a month for the complete zodiacal additional channeling and tarot readings, and go up to private weekly one-to-one Zoom sessions with me for $222.22 per month. Psychic freshmen on the Patreon aircraft who remain on any tier for 3 consecutive months receive free merch. This is my gift to all you brave souls working tirelessly to coexist in various vibrations, and so that you remember, I am always with you. If that's not too creepy, take the brochure in front of you home. Madame President, Natalee, and my channeled messages are alive in perpetuity via TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, and the mothership, theartigan.com. Before we take off, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell so you know every time I go live and when I upload a new video series. Please like this video to tell the algorithm that we have a good thing going. I just received confirmation from my stewardess that we are all ready for takeoff. So if you haven't yet, please buckle in, darlings. It's going to be a thrilling ride. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Take your usual seats if you've been here before. If you're new, find a comfortable spot. Everyone will be nice to you here. Tea, coffee, and cookies are in the back to the left. Unlimited and complimentary. Help yourself anytime. Welcome to the week of February 21st through February 28th, 2022. This week you are tasked with answering to yourself something in your life. Is it worth it? Based on your ability to accept what your heart is telling you. Oh, welcome to the new setup, guys. Based on what your heart is telling you without judgment. So can you accept what you're feeling without judging it? What has shifted in your heart this past week? Just had this Leo full moon. What do you feel differently about? Can you accept how you really feel without judging what that is? We'll be facing fears of the unknown this week. Understand what it really means to listen, follow, and bring justice to what our hearts are saying. There's some things that I did not pick up that I forgot to sort of just tell you guys about the full moon last week. So no, hold on, where's the chat? There you are. Hey guys, welcome everybody. So I will be going over those this is the, okay, it looks like my little plant is on fire, but it's not. I just put the, okay, anyway, so I really need to not go off script. This is illicit. You think there's not a lot going on, then you get into the astrology and there kind of is. So, okay. Ooh, I don't know if this mic is even like working or not. We'll see. Anyway, so what did come to light for you guys last week? What do you feel differently about? The consequences to not listening to your heart and not going with what you really feel, it's a really high price. Really high price. Whew. Okay. Understand the resistance will be everything telling you to do what's comfortable and to live the life that you've already lived. But you're not here to do what you've always done. You're not here to do what you've always done. You're here to live like you've never lived before. This lifetime or any other lifetime. It'll be ego, cognitive dissonance, and instinct that are working to keep you safe and alive, which means to do what you've always done. That's the function, but ego dies with the body, and, it's just a thing. It's a thing. You need a healthy functioning ego to, send an order back, like to the kitchen or your coffee back, but you don't need to like berate anybody or get angry or yell at any, it doesn't need to get like out of hand. It's intuition, love, and your own spiritual connection to source that wants to bring you into a life you've never lived. It's trying to bring you into the future, and the future is something that you've never experienced before. That incense just really, it just burnt up really, really fast. And it's very, very strange because I literally just lit it. Sorry. It's just odd. Okay. Okay. So we were trying to be in the future here. Sorry. Into a life you've never lived, cultivating faith in yourself to get there. This week we face fears about the future. It's an adventure, so try to have that kind of mentality about it, which is practice in order to respond to ourselves in a new way. So what does that really mean? It really means that when you can do justice to your heart, you will trust yourself, and you will trust yourself to live life, because the heart and love and intuition and faith, what the heart is wanting is this just a strong love is just the strongest force in the universe. It's the strongest. So if you think that you're going to suppress what your heart wants and suppress how you really feel, I'll let you figure that. I'll let you have that experience for yourself. Okay. It's my guidance. So these fears, let's talk about the fears. They stem from the unconscious. They are ancestral inheritances, traumatic personal experiences from this lifetime, early childhood wounding, and past life memories. That's a really big one. You will have a reaction to something that makes no logical sense of why you don't like something, why you are resistant to something, why you are super attracted to something or someone. It doesn't make logical sense, but it does, because there's a past life connection to it. Otherwise, why do you feel so strongly? This is Pisces season. We are down the rabbit hole. We are through the looking glass. We are on the Artegan aircraft, traveling through to another dimension. This is everyone's journey, okay, through your own looking glass. That's the thing with this. What yours looks like is determined by your psychic awareness and your quality of connection to the other realms. It's intense spiritual energy. The Leo full moon in that fixed grand cross activated subconscious karmic patterning. The heart realizes where you've been and where you want to go. It's the mind that wants to judge your karma, judge your heart, judge your feelings, and wants to shut down the spiritual, emotional perception and understanding of something that's beyond what makes logical sense. Now, some of my baby psychics and some of my pro psychics, you already have so many experiences with your own intuition, with past life memories. If you've ever had supernatural, spiritual, paranormal, angelic, demonic, any kind of weirdness growing up, or supernatural experiences, you already have this sort of really strong connection. And so you already kind of get that. But if you're someone that's never had like a creepy haunted house experience, or you've never, it could feel scarier to follow your heart. It could feel scarier to trust and believe in something that you've never lived before. So keep that in mind, where your psychic awareness and your psychic perception is standing. And forgive yourself for that. Like, give yourself a little, because the mind is going to try to make it logical, try to make sense of it. Okay? So you're tasked with realizing all of this and improving your relationship to yourself. The Leo full moon showed us how our unconscious patterning has undermined our success, undermined our accuracy, undermined our lives up until now. Accept that. Like, really, guys, like, the more you can accept that, then you can move the energy through, and then you can take the power back, and you can really, that's what I want for all of us. I just want us all to win. I do. Okay. Sorry. When you consciously make a different choice to do something differently, respond differently, treat yourself differently, this is how you pop out of the unconscious karmic pattern. Remember, spirituality is how you're going to feel based on what you believe. Everyone has a spirituality. Everyone has an art of living. It's either decided by the unconscious or it's decided consciously. So what does this mean? It means you're not supposed to do what you did before. Nothing right now is supposed to repeat. So if you were knocked down a peg, or if something in your life was knocked down a peg, which it probably was like a little bit of both. It was this understanding coming to light, this fullness of a heart experience, of an emotional experience, seeing something that's been there all along, accepting something that you've already been feeling, wondering why it took you so long to see it or accept it or realize it, or just reconciling that you really do feel differently, or you really do feel, this way or that way. And seeing the hard truths about things. So we were all in some little area probably knocked down a little peg, because to understand what the heart is really feeling and really saying, it's like, oh, if you're feeling like I need to shift my career, or I need to shift how the public responds to me, or I need to shift my personal connections, or I need to shift my relationship with my children, I need to shift how I'm working my finances, all of that came to light for you this past week because you saw both. You saw what's really working well, and you saw what your heart is just not in. Your heart's not into this perception of me anymore. I don't want to be known for that anymore. I don't want to be seen this way anymore. It's like that's like a whole thing. So it's okay if you're feeling the new coming in, but you're still sort of like scared. It's okay. But just know, this week ahead of you, nothing in the past is meant to repeat right now. If you do, you're consciously going against your better spiritual judgment. You're consciously going against what your heart knows to be true. So it doesn't mean you have to change like absolutely everything. You can just keep the same things, but just have like a different vibe, have a update it if that's the case. Oh boy, okay. It's just going to be a long week. It's just, okay. It's your free will to do so. So, you're as young as you'll ever be right now. And so you have this opportunity. You have it in front of you. You can let it go. You can say, no, thank you, pass on. Just remember, it's fate that brings you the opportunities. You deciding if you're taking the opportunity is you creating and choosing your destiny. That's the balance between fate and free will, is that you get to choose, but you get to choose from what fate brings you, what your natal chart is kind of going to give you, and the transits and everything. It's like the causality, the cause and the effect. So if you proceed going against your heart, this is you going against what you're worth, and you try to go along doing what you've always done, you're gonna get knocked down again. It won't even work. So if you take last week, the parts that we're kind of getting knocked down a peg, that will continue. And with Leo energy, it could even be status, it could be attention, it could be negative attention, it could be positive attention, it could be something very public, it could be reputation, it could be street cred that gets a little bit knocked, it could be, you know, anything like that. But that's like the darker side of Leo energy. Remember, the brighter side of Leo energy is all about the heart. It's all about being authentic. So, you know, you want to keep the best and just like discard anything that's, you know, just that's gotten, you know, outdated or something. That's why universe gave you this Leo full moon, so that you know to do something differently, because the old won't work anymore. Everything will fall apart. So whatever's falling apart since that full moon, you weren't honoring what you're really worth. Leo energy is all about saying, I want a raise because I'm worth it. I want a better sexual relationship because I'm worth it. I want a more fulfilling daily routine because I'm worth it. I want to take my career in a thrilling new direction because I'm worth it. Gosh, I've seen Leos just be like, I'm not going to take the drugstore brand. I'm going to have the name brand because I'm worth it. Like, it's just such a thing with you guys. So it's like, but that's for everybody in some area of life right now. It's like having that confidence and courage and self-appreciation to say, no, I'm worth it. I'm worth something, you know, better than this. And none of what I said has anything to do with money or status or what other people think of you. So can you do this? Can you overcome your fears to live a life unimagined? That's the point. To live what you've never lived before. Okay, now I forgot to tell you about the full moon in Leo. Mercury was at its maximum elongation as morning star Apollo on the full moon. Oh my God, you guys. Okay, the TLDR of that means that there was like such a critical breakthrough for us. It's just releasing ideas and insights, the old ones, to inspire the new way forward with new strategies. So it's like coalescing all of these different things to envision a path forward to follow into the unknown. It's like a lot of moxie. The intensified projective mental energy was just like seeking expression in this, with the full moon in Leo, all about self-expression. Probably artistically and dramatically and theatrically, because it was also the Leo full moon, which was probably something like we're like in a very theatrical energy. So like, go ahead and be dramatic. It's very like go big or go home energy. So you need the flair, you need the sparkle, you need your heart to race. If your heart isn't racing, you're not doing it right. So find a way to update or incorporate or just revamp everything to make it, to give you that missing element. That's what's new and different feels like. That's what growth feels like. Growth is exciting because it is the unknown. Okay, we're finally into the week now. Okay, I just wrote a lot for you guys. Okay, oopsie, hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, perfect timing. Monday. Honesty is the best policy. I'm calling Monday. Oh, that's today, Monday. Yes, that's today, Monday. Welcome. So, I keep hitting this. Saturn enters, okay, I've been waiting for this personally. Saturn enters shadow for their retrograde, June 14th to October 22nd. Finally. Saturn entering shadow is beginning the slowing down process, which means the weight of responsibilities will be set. And then we'll just be dealing with it. So it's like the amount on your plate gets set. You load up your plate. And then from here until October 22nd, we're just eating what's on the plate. Just working on it, little nibbles, okay? And refining and going and all that stuff. So there won't be any more added to that plate unless it has something to do with what you're already working on. So consciously begin to reflect on where you're feeling the tension and the pressure to be who you really are. And now that may be sort of stifled by current circumstances, like there will be obstacles and delays and difficulties to you really being who you really are. And it's a test of Saturn. There might be commitments that you're already in, there might be contracts you've already signed, there might be teams you've already put together. And if that's all in alignment with you and it's just hard, then the challenge is to persevere through the difficulty. But if it's not the right tribe, if it's not the right thing for you, if it's not the right project, if it's not the right commitment, the challenge is to get out of that and into things, and into taking responsibility for something that's more reflective of who you really are. It's about authenticity. It's not about fitting in or going with like the flow with this Aquarian energy. Saturn in Aquarius. Okay. Unconsciously, you can't outrun this. You can't ignore it. You'll get more reprimands for not being authentic. Oh, man. You don't want to mess with Saturn. But Saturn's, honestly, you guys, Saturn's really easy. You just do it. You just do it. You just do it. And you know what to do. Like, Saturn sets the agenda. So this is Saturn in Aquarius, another year of it. Families, tribes, companies, groups breaking apart so that the fractions can find their own groups, and then new groups are forming from the splintered factions, and totally new groups coming up out of nowhere. It's very tribe, but the right tribes, the right companies, the right groups. So if there's not a fit anymore, that's okay. That's very much to be expected. And you really want to know who you are. You really want to know, you really want to be very confident and very, I do want to say uncompromising. You do want to be very uncompromising with who you are, so that you find your people. Like what I said on the Leo full moon, being authentic helps you find and connect with your people. Okay. Also today, we have the moon in Scorpio to Wednesday. Okay, so the moon's in Scorpio. I love to say this in the daily bulletin on the Patreon aircraft. The world turns black and white with the moon in Scorpio. And that's true. It's pretty clear what we're open to and what we're not open to, as we kind of take the 2.5 days to feel that through with the moon in Scorpio. So it's us connecting to the depths of our feelings, and having that kind of access. And in this case, it's what do you really believe? You're drawing and redrawing emotional boundaries, deciding what you'll be open to, what you'll not be open to, what you're going to allow into your energetic experience, the kind of influences that you want for yourself, and then sort of having that detached perspective too, and deciding and thinking, what do you feel like, and what do you believe about your feelings? Like, are you trusting yourself? Are you trusting your intuition? Are you trusting life? Because if you trust yourself, you'll trust life. If you trust yourself, if you trust your intuition, then you trust yourself to make decisions in life. Something just isn't going to work anymore. What used to work for you, for all of us, it's breaking down. We're challenged to believe in the new. We're challenged to trust our hearts. And the moon in Scorpio, Monday, it was weird. Monday to Wednesday is connecting us to that feeling. That was weird. Except that this is over, enough is enough. I'm getting a weird name. It's like Alicia or Allegra Stone. Guys, can we wait till the tarot to start giving me messages? Thank you very much. Enough is enough with the moon in Scorpio, Monday to Wednesday. Okay. Sun in Pisces, also today, trines the moon in Scorpio. Pisces season, that's so We get the boost of belief, spiritual strength, and visual, imaginative inspiration that supports what we're doing with our boundaries. Consciously, you can forgive yourself and others to transform your feelings. Unconsciously, it can be easier to be suspicious or to think the worst or to be a worrier. This is the thing, like your looking glass, your belief system, your spirituality, your emotional reality is whatever you decide it to be. Whatever your subconscious is projecting, whatever your unconscious experience is, like you will believe it. You will believe it. No matter what I say, and it's going to get stronger and stronger. So the best that you can do is just understand that you have those parts of you. You have these past life memories. You have, okay, perfect example. I have a persecution complex. And I know this, like it was confirmed the day I left from Chicago to Los Angeles. I was taking the train because I thought that was going to be so fun and adventurous. I'm way too psychic because all of this reality just feels like a cartoon to me. It just feels like a movie. It just feels like play. Anyway, and I recorded a video for YouTube that day, and I took all the things apart, took all the stuff down. I was running around doing stuff, and I go to grab the light, and I just forgot that I had just used it and that it was really, really hot. So I just grabbed it and it burned. Okay, that's what happens. It burned. It was like a hot lamp from when I was working at the camera store. I got one of the lights there, and here's the thing. Normally when you touch something hot, you go psst, and you just jerk your hand away. For some reason, I gripped harder. And it was this pain. It's like everything went white. Everything was just like a flash of white. And I just remember looking down. I was transported into this past life memory, looking down, and my hands were like that in front of me. And I was burning. I was on fire. And it was like this whole experience. And for that moment, though, I was transported into this freaking past life memory. So I was burned for something. I don't know if I was burned for being a freaking witch or, I mean, they burned a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. I'm not saying I know what that reason is, but in that moment, like, it was so clear and it was so weird that I was just like gripping this it was just weird. So I know that I had, like, if I have like a thing about like authority or something, like I know where it comes from. So, but that's an unconscious thing. That's something that's there that I have to really check myself about. Another thing, I'll never play chess with someone that I'm sexually attracted to. I'll never do that. I can't. I'm not mature enough for it. I know that about myself, but that's a subconscious, unconscious thing. That's just because of how I learned to play chess. I was in the, just real quick, I was in the aftercare center at school. School got out at 2:30. I was in the aftercare center from 2:30 to like 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and the boys would play chess. They were part of the chess club, and they wouldn't teach me. They wouldn't teach me how to play chess. So I learned by watching them. I told you guys this story before, but I learned to play chess by watching other people play chess and how the little pieces move for like hours and hours and whatever. So it's just like a weird thing. But, I know that about myself. If I were trying to deny that, and if I wanted to go play chess with someone, that's like me trying to start a fight. Unconsciously. Maybe consciously, I'm like, well, let's just have a game of chess. Let's just have fun. I mean, it's like, no, you're not ready yet, Natalie. You're not ready yet. You have some alchemizing to do. So when you know that, that's the best you can get out of it. Because then all you do after that, when you've identified your unconscious, subconscious things, these triggers, then you just try, you just alchemize, and then you wait. Because you will try and try and try, just like learning German, like learning anything. You'll try, and then you'll have a moment of breakthrough where you just get it. And it's just the charge, the emotional charge just isn't there. Okay? But this Piscean energy, Pisces, that was funny. this Piscean energy, this Neptunian energy is what, this is the thing. I'll take Saturn any day. Saturn, fine, I'll do the work. Because what you earn, you get. And it's very clear, like the work you have to do, the agenda that's set. I'll take Uranus any day. Change it up. Hit me from the side. Freaking surprise me. I don't even see it coming. Great. I'll take Pluto any day. Give me the ending, Pluto. End it. Just end it in my life so I have a new beginning. Fine. Take it away. Take it. Take it. Take it. Neptune. That's the one I always warn you guys. Like, that is the one that freaks me out the most, because that's the one where you believe something and then you like wake up 30 years later and you're like, I don't really feel that way, or I never loved you anyway, or like in When Harry Met Sally, when he's like, when she's like, he's at the game with his friend and he's talking about him and his wife, and she says, I don't know if I ever loved you. Like, that is some crazy Neptune thing. Like, that is like, you are living in this dream, you're living in this projection, you're living in this fantasy, and it, like, you believed it when you signed up for it, but then you realize later that there's something off about it, or that it wasn't true, or that it was like, there's just questioning your own reality. It's just a nightmare. It's like, it turns into a nightmare. I speak from personal experience. I've woken up in life and been like, this is surreal. It's just so just be careful. As we get stronger and stronger into Pisces season, just be careful. Just really try to check yourself. And that's all I can say, is to look for and try to be as aware as possible of your own unconscious biases, your own cognitive dissonance, your own logical fallacies that you create. That it's like, I support you. Like, that's just hard. Like, who wants to do that? You know, that's why you guys are so special here, is because you like want to do this, because you want to be empowered, because you want that control back with yourself. You want to be who you came here to be. You didn't come here to just be some puppet on strings, just like, you know, living what you've already lived before, playing out these unconscious patterns. I need to move it along. Also today, T square. Oh, today, ooh, I'm triggery. Today there's also the T square with the moon in Scorpio opposing Uranus in Taurus and squares Mercury in Aquarius. It may not feel like it, but this is major achievement energy. Think of it as having a full charge of energy, and you're the device. Where the body is the device. Okay, so you can use tarot cards, you can use pendulums, you can use... I made such a great joke in Scorpio's Weekly last week. You can take the lint out of your pocket. Like, there's a little ball, there's a little string, there's a little this, little that, and you can just draw a circle or a pentagram on a piece of with a chalk on a sidewalk, and you can literally program the meanings into where the lint will fall. And then you can shake up that lint, you can shake it up and think of your question and cast your lint, and it'll be correct. Why? Because your physical body is channeling the energy of the answer. Your physical body is channeling the energy of your higher self, your spirit guides, the freaking archangels, the cosmos, like whatever you're working with. But your subconscious, your higher self, first and foremost. Achievement energy, I'm getting off track here. This is tension that you can use to work, act, think critically, or achieve a goal consciously. See, that's another thing too, is that I want to empower you guys. Oh no. I hope I don't sneeze on camera. Hopefully you practice channeling so you can direct energy when you have a lot of it. I want to empower you guys to use all of the tension consciously to help you win. I just think life is going to be so much cooler and so much more fun when everyone is just more authentic in who they are. Like, variety really is the spice of life. Unconsciously, things break today. The Aquarian area is where the energy wants to discharge and seeks expression. You'll want to use the missing leg, the Leo area of life. We've been missing Leo. The flair, the self-worth, the heart, to balance yourself out. Which means make your conscious decisions putting your needs first. Otherwise, the discharge of this tension could be hurtful to others as you put yourself first in a way that's crude or otherwise not well received, instead of you owning the energy and doing what you need to do or saying what you need to say calmly and consciously. So this is like if you overgive and then you start to get resentful and then you just lash out at somebody who's a taker. They're just going to keep taking, and you're just going to keep overgiving, and they're just going to keep taking. You're going to grow resentful of that. You're going to lash out at them, and then they're going to be like, what do you mean? You know, or something like that. But it's whatever that you're not being honest about, what you're denying your heart. It's going to just fester. Sorry. I took a Claritin too. Okay, the moon in Scorpio. God, we're still on Monday. Trines Jupiter and Pisces. Spiritual courage turns into spiritual strength. This is an energy that can give you belief in one or the other. So consciously apply faith in your heart, in your boundaries, and what you will no longer tolerate because you're worth it. And so is everyone else. Everyone deserves boundaries. Everyone deserves love. Everyone deserves to have that connection. Unconsciously, this could be all too easy to slide back into unconscious programming, but the clap back will be bad if you do. Oh my God, it's so close. Oh, this is so weird. Oh, this is so uncomfortable. Sorry. Oh. Oh. Here. Tuesday. Oh. Tuesday. February 22nd. Dreams can come true. The moon in Scorpio squares Saturn and Aquarius. Don't know where that came from. Someone older than you, or the institution itself, or even just modern convention may not be on board with you becoming who you came here to be and living the life you came here to live. There may be disproving side eyes or downright criticisms that could really hurt your feelings. This is where my persecution complex really just comes out full force, and it's like, I'm going to be who I'm here to be. But you've got to stand where you stand and own your truth. You could also be totally okay with no one supporting you or your family or the town or the rules being against you, and might just feel frustrated that you've got some red tape to get through on your way to living a more honest life. You know, there might be a little delay, but listen, all Saturn does by making your life harder or making what you want harder to get to or harder to keep or harder to attain for yourself, they're doing that for you to prove not to Saturn, not to the planet. The influence, the causality is doing that so that you prove to yourself how much you want something. It's worth it. It's worth the delay. It's worth the struggle. It's worth the tests. It's worth the tribulations. It's worth it. Your heart is worth it. Moon in Scorpio trines Neptune in Pisces. That's okay, because you have vision. You can imagine the life you want after all these adjustments are done adjusting, after the hard work in changing things around is complete. I really see this like, okay, I have so many. Every once in a while, I get obsessed with tiny homes, and I just go off on like a tiny home freaking image spree search of thing. Like, it's just like a thing. It's like imagining yourself sitting in your solarium. Let's just take a different example. What I wrote out already. Sitting in your solarium, reading about astrology, having your coffee, surrounded by plants and little animals and everything you love. While in reality, there's just a big square of dirt in front of you. Nothing's been built yet. Sorry. But you have the vision that energizes you through all the different necessary stages. I hope that got through. So you're imagining something being built and you enjoying it being built before the concrete's even been poured, before like anything's even happened. But if you make that feeling really alive within yourself, it helps you get through all these different stages. Okay, another thing about Tuesday, and here's the dreams come true energy really comes from. Jupiter conjuncts Neptune, April 12th, 2022, but enters the orb of relevance, February 22nd to May 10th. Massive dream come true energy for everyone in the Piscean area of life. Dream big, my friends. Dream big. Because it could happen. It could really happen. And here's the thing. As long as you just commit to a good ethical system, a good moral system. For me, I keep it so simple. Here, Artegan spacecraft, Patreon spacecraft. Love, truth, integrity. It is that's 3 words. That simple. Is this truth? Is this honest? Is this from love? Is this of love? Am I doing this because this is love? Because my heart wants it? Is this full of integrity? If those 3 all align, you're fine. You just do that and just trust. Let everything else go. And then you can make some big dreams come true. Okay? I'm just saying. There's a method to my madness. And it's not mad. Wednesday. Ooh, that was weird and awkward. Wednesday. February 23rd. I'm titling it Think Bigger. Even bigger. We have the waning quarter moon in Sagittarius. This is the crisis in consciousness. It's okay. It's the waning, losing in light quarter moon. Crisis in consciousness means we're letting go of living in that old life, that old story. Sagittarius is like the freaking old rockers sitting around the campfire telling stories. It's like letting go of the old vision, the old story, and accepting it for what it was. It's like maybe that was romantic to you. Maybe the story they told you, or the one that you believed growing up of a vision for your life, was really romantic to you, and it was really exciting. It was really profound and wonderful. And then you're in it, you're living it, and then you're realizing, like, you know what? I want a different adventure, or I'm evolving into a bigger vision or a different vision. That's very moon in 9th house. Just showing me moon in 9th house energy. It's like you could like really. That's so funny. She's showing me all these different religious garbs, like the nun's habit, the Muslim niqab. No, wait, no. I think I'm saying that wrong. And then like the Buddhist. I'm sorry, it's not garb. It's not a costume. I'm sorry. I'm just American and I see everything as a cartoon. I'm not. No, respect only. I'm sorry. But she's showing me all those different visuals. So like this. Kind of, that's what this must be then. Quarter moon Sagittarius. So it's like if you have, there's like a moon in 9th house energy, where it's like what you believe is gonna go through changes. Like what you believe your visions, your ideals, your belief systems. You might go through different mentors, different religious, spiritual stuff. Anyway, it's a crisis in consciousness. It means we're letting go of living in that old life, that old story, and accepting it for what it was, letting it be what it was. We're emotionally feeding the new story, the new adventure, the new horizon, the new vision for the new life opening up, and accepting that for what it is. But the challenge is to let yourself think bigger and open up, because the stress, remember, if there's tension, if there's stress, you want to use it consciously to adjust and adapt and to grow into something bigger and better. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting against something that you really can't win it, but okay. Unconsciously, it's just a lot of pain. It's really what it is, pain that we don't learn from. The TLDR of all these transits, all the astrology, when you're conscious, you can work it and you can use it. Unconsciously, pain, until you learn to want to work it and use it. Mercury in Aquarius sextiles Chiron in Aries. This is an important little milestone to approach right before, that's right, Mercury exits their shadow. Mercury enters their shadow this week, and then Mercury exits their shadow this week, and then next week, Venus exits their shadow this week. It's an opportunity to feel vulnerable and valuable at the same time, to heal a mental insecurity within, or to treat yourself better mentally kinder to yourself. There may even be information that you need to take in that touches on an insecurity, that's only there to challenge you to advocate for your own gentleness, your own healing for a healthy ego, healthy individuality, healthy independence, healthy confidence. Mars in Capricorn sextiles Neptune in Pisces. Breakthrough for the future. Could turn out better than you thought. It could turn out better than you thought. Thursday. I tried to get it on the 47. I already have a speech impediment. We don't need any more. Has my little eyebrow hair been out of place? Okay. Thursday, February 24th. Okay, I was kind of like, am I going to call this seeing the light or crystal clear? I wanted to be funny, but I will just be seeing the light. Moon in Sagittarius squares Jupiter in Pisces. Oof. The bubble somewhere, somehow, needs to be burst. Your growth is taking you outside of your comfort zone. Go with it. Just go with it, man. Okay, but if you, okay, so it's like something needs to the bubble needs to burst, right? So if you're more unconscious with this, it could be like, oh, I wanted to get away with this. I wanted to get away with keeping things as they were, but I'm not able to. Bummer. If you're using this consciously, I've had squares like this where I thought I was expecting I was prepared for the worst. And I was pleasantly surprised because it was even better. It was so much better than I was prepared for. So it could be that too. Moon, Jupiter could be you are feeling even better than ever. Oh. Okay. Also on Thursday, Moon in Sagittarius squares and Neptune in Pisces. Another bubble burst. It's really important to take all perception corrections positively, no matter what they are. Realizing something you thought was a small little hiccup is actually a major issue. Or realizing you're in love with someone when you thought it was an attraction. Whatever ripples are created by clarity, you've got to live a life and you need to believe it. Believe in nothing else but the purpose and meaning of your own existence and the benefit of your life's experience. When we live a life and experience it however we may, when we give our body back and move on, that becomes part of the universal knowledge. It's added to it from your consciousness and your lived experience and your incarnation. I hope I made sense there. What I'm trying to say is that everything you learn in this lifetime, everything you realize in this lifetime, when you die, when you give your body back, ego dies with the body, it all, everything that you've learned in your lifetime from your experience gets added to the universal consciousness, the universal knowledge. Every moment is meaningful. Every day counts. I'm ready to get off camera like right now, but I have to finish this. Mercury in Aquarius squares Uranus and Taurus, leaves shadow. Mercury leaves shadow. God, since middle of November, it's just been... If you're not treating yourself according to how you deserve, things could fall apart. Uranus is behavioral energy. Uranus is behavior. Mars is action. The bully at school could behave like they're really tough, like they're going to do something. But when you challenge them to a fight after school, what action do they take? They run away. Their behavior is very different from the actions. They might behave like they're so tough, like they'll scrap. But the action, or maybe it's the same, maybe it's congruent, but maybe it's not. We might behave in a certain way, but act in a different way. You've got to incorporate higher-minded treatments to yourself and your own behavior with yourself. Higher self-value, come out of the pattern. Enlivened, ready to move or take action. You might feel frustrated or feel uncertain with more questions or not knowing where to go next or what to rely on. The perception can kind of just break here because this is this is a pivotal point for Mercury. Okay, so all the way up until Thursday, you were just covering the same ground up until Mercury went retrograde. But now Mercury is going to move beyond where you've been rethinking things. So this is like that breakthrough energy, that breakthrough mentally. The full moon in Leo gave you so much expression, flair, drama, performance, heart-centered, but not like performative performance, more like the performance of the truth. It's like your heart just like popped out and did a little dance and showed you what it's really feeling, It's like a song comes out on the radio that you are just like so into, and you're just like so into it. And you're like, I didn't even know I liked that song. So that's the thing here. This Mercury in Aquarius squaring Uranus and Taurus. There could be a behavior shift here where you've got to treat yourself a little bit differently. And here's the thing, like, because you're being more authentic, you might not have like a tribe or a place, or you might not know where that leaves you, and that's okay. This is where you cultivate the faith and the trust. Venus in Capricorn sextiles Neptune and Pisces. Yesterday's breakdown is today's breakthrough. You know what to do. You're realizing new faith. God, Venus, Neptune. When they're good, it's very good. That's what this is. This is very positive. So there's a lot of soft energy there. And then Mars and Venus conjoin at 22 degrees. More breakthrough energy, eyes wide open to value. I'm so excited, guys. Really, this week is closing out what the heart is telling you. Your heart opened up and realized something last week. This week, it's like, is this worth it? What's worth it? Next week, when Venus leaves shadow, and that new moon in Pisces is freaking bomb, as in positive. That new moon in Pisces, March 2nd, is quite spectacular. So this last week is closing out what's worth it, listening to my heart, and then gearing up for a whole new clean slate, a brand new beginning. And that new beginning is all about your connection to your own unconscious. Can you go that deep? Can you go that deep?
What's your spirituality? Everyone has one. Is yours super negative? Do you have a belief? Do you have a faith? Do you have a this? The spirituality, how are you going to feel based on what you believe? Do you believe everyone's horrible and mean and bad? You're going to have a negative experience all the time. It's like, or are you going to go really spiritual on the Pisces new moon? Are you going to be recommitting to your spiritual strength and developing spiritual courage that no matter what's happening in life, who comes in my life, who leaves my life, it's all working to my own power, my betterment, living my best life, because I trust. All stress and anxiety comes down to, what do you really believe? What do you really believe about your life, about the nature of life itself? Because if you really trust it, then live on that. Live on what you believe. Oh, or you go super creative, which is what I'm planning to do, where you can access these other realms. You got to access the other realms next week for the new moon in Pisces. You got to access the spirituality. You've got to access the unconscious. You've got to access your repressed memories, or you can access your creativity, your artistic potential, and mine it for all it's worth. Because you can just go and grab. Oh God. Okay, I need to just stay on point here, Natalie. Come on now. Friday. The 25th. Cool and relaxed. Okay, we have the moon in Capricorn Friday, Saturday. Deciding what we're taking seriously. Emotional commitments. What we believe has substance. What you believe, it's true. You're making it true. You're taking it all in. It might be a little surreal. Reality could go to the next level. You could get a break, like a much needed break. You're realizing how you need to treat yourself. Taking yourself more seriously, accepting a new way of being you. What does that feel like? What does that feel like to treat yourself this new, cool way? Also, Friday, the sun in Pisces sextiles the moon in Capricorn. This is a nice opportunity to soften the hard edges of the Cap moon. Cap moon could be poor Capricorns. Oh no, not that little eyebrow hair. Okay. This is, I said that already. Let yourself spiritualize the Capricorn area of life. The sun could shed some light on your creativity, and you might feel ready to commit to it, or to give your inspiration some structure, or to take it more seriously. Capricorn energy is supposed to conquer the physical dimension, conquer their physical reality, to ascend and conquer. I don't want to say conquer, but to reach spiritual heights. It's why we have the tail of a fish and the front of a goat. We start at the lowest depths of the sea, and then we can climb to the very highest top of the mountain. It's balancing the energy to achieve with the energy to just be and exist. That moon in Capricorn, it's cool and relaxed if you can work the energy of taking your feelings seriously, but not being hard on them, and being gentle with yourself and spiritualizing yourself. That Capricorn area of life, it wants both. It wants the structure of integrity, because that Capricorn area of life, especially since 2008, if it's not built on integrity, it's blowing up, and it will continue to blow up for another couple years. It will blow up, and you'll have to rebuild it on integrity. We're almost there. Saturday. Saturday. The 26th. Fated commitments is what I'm calling it. Forgive the past. Okay, surrender it. Life is going to change. Outer world changes. So on this Capricorn moon, I don't want anyone to feel bad. It can be so depressing. Cap moon can be so depressed and so depressing and so dark and so, I love it. But I mean, I have a Cap stellium, so of course I would. A little graveyard. Once you've learned the lesson, you can let go of the pain. You don't have to harbor pain beyond when you've learned the lesson. When you've learned the lesson, you can let go of the pain, let yourself off the hook, and forgive yourself. Forgive others. Okay, the moon in Capricorn trines Uranus and Taurus. It just lines up for you. I hope you are healthy enough, wise enough, perceptive enough, honest with yourself enough to see it so that you can take it. Carpe that diem. It sets everyone free. Something's lining up for you. Something's lining up. It just falls in your lap. It just happens. It's you can let something go. You can get used to something. You can incorporate something new and fresh. You can be released of some burden. I mean, something just lines up. It's really nice. That moon in Capricorn sextiles Jupiter and Pisces. Believe that something can work or work well. You can use this energy to something you've already committed to, or you can apply this to some little fledgling little thing to ferment up internally. Moon in Capricorn also sextiles Neptune and Pisces. Forgive yourself and everyone else. Let it all go. Let yourself off the hook so you can focus on the fated commitments that are revealing themselves as important in your life. There might be undoing. The Mercury and Venus retrograde in Capricorn is all about undoing commitments, taking options off the table. This is not really working. And for all my Cap, Sun, Moon, risings, we were like little ugly ducklings this entire time. So if you are feeling like an ugly duckling, it's okay, because it's almost over. Okay. And then we'll be feeling nice and sparkly again. Wait a minute, hold on. Sunday. I wasn't going to try to get a number. Okay. Sunday, February 27th, pulling no punches. Which means in boxing to punch less hard than you can. To pull punches. Pulling no punches. Load it up, load it up, load it up. The moon conjuncts Venus and Mars in Capricorn. That's raunchy. Venus and Mars are beginning a whole new 2-year cycle, so when the moon brings emotional energy to the cosmic lovers in Capricorn, you'll have both energy to commit or recommit, and you'll be granted the fluidity to make really important changes. Balls to the walls. Go for it. Go for it. Capricorn. Another thing about Capricorn. I love Capricorn energy. Not just because I am one. Because we take what's immaterial. We take the idea. We take the spiritual vision. And we bring it down into physical manifestation. We make it real. Capricorns make it real. You have a good idea? You have a feeling? You have this, you have that. It's all talk. No. Boom. Let's make it real. Physically real. Capricorns make it happen. It's the structure that we all live our lives in. Love that about Capricorn energy. The moon conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn. Ooh, we really pulling no punches on Sunday. Remember though, Pluto brings endings so that they can give you beginnings. Endings and beginnings with Pluto involved. Scorpio energy. phoenix rising from the flames, okay? Base everything on the emotional truth. Consciously, you can either be satisfied with where you are, who you are, what you're doing, and where you're going, because you're going as your heart is guiding you. Like the transformation, everything changes, will feel very invigorating for you. It'll feel like you're really alive. Or unconsciously, your ego and cognitive dissonance and human instinct turn the truth into paranoid complex that you project onto others or the world. So if you're over concerned with status, your idea of it could take a hit now. That's low Capricorn. Low Capricorn puts too much emphasis on status, money, ambition, career. Capricorn places too much. It's like family is important for how it looks to the community. Low Capricorn. If you base, okay, the only thing that can get through this Piscean mishigas over the next couple months is the truth. So if anything is like a veil or like that gossamer, that's my favorite Looney Tune, by the way, is Gossamer. But just real, the truth, love, truth, and integrity is what's going to cut through it all. Moon conjunct Pluto in Capricorn is going to sear your soul of it. So it's either that ego takes a hit, something takes a hit. And like I said, if something was knocked down a peg last week at the Leo full moon, it'll keep happening, like especially around Wednesday, Thursday. Because that's like, yeah. Okay. Moon enters Aquarius. Now the moon's like in this sign before it goes new in, so it's kind of dark, before the Pisces new moon of March 2nd. If you're feeling lost or insecure or off balance or in doubt, that's okay, because it's going to pass. Like, it's okay to feel very insecure on a dark moon. People tend to feel a little vulnerable on the super dark moon. That will pass. In this case, it could be shallow insecurities, caring too much what other people think, fearing being too individual, too ahead of your time, too different. Oh, and I even did Monday. I'll give you a little preview of Monday. Ooh, hold on, write it down. Monday, I'm titling Only Character Counts. Moon in Aquarius squares Uranus and Taurus. Moon conjuncts. Okay, let me just do it. Moon in Aquarius squares Uranus and Taurus. Consciously, you could use this tension to outgrow some behavior patterns or apply some changes you've been wanting to make. Unconsciously, you could experience disruptions to your daily life that force you to take a look at some things that are inefficient in your routine. Moon conjuncts Mercury in Aquarius. Gee. Okay. As a moon conjunct Mercury in Aquarius native, we have to have this talk. This is genius energy. I mean, you can use this consciously to channel the genius. This is so important for all my creatives out there, especially if you're extremely talented. I want you to learn from my mistakes. I want you to not have to go through the pain that I went through to get the knowledge and information to save you some of your time. I made the mistake of identifying myself as a genius. That's ego, and that's pain. That's just as bad as identifying with anger. As I've told you guys before, it's not I am angry. You are not anger incarnate. Same with genius. You are not a genius. You and anyone else can channel genius. Just like you and anyone else can channel anger. It's flowing through you. You're like the pipe or the hose, and the water is the anger or the genius or the love or the sensuality or the peace or the serenity. Whatever is, the body is the device. Okay? If you identify with any one of these things, I am the guru, peace incarnate, I am genius, I am all powerful, whatever. Like, if you identify with any of that, all of that is ego, all of that is pain. Pain. Okay? Remember, you cannot have ego and love at the same time. You always have to choose. So enjoy your talents, enjoy being unique, enjoy being who you are, enjoy channeling the genius, enjoy channeling sensuality, enjoy channeling serenity, exalted emotions. You're here to experience these things so that you can learn from them and then contribute it to the universal knowledge database. But do not identify with any one of these things. It's all just passing through the physical body. You give the body back. When I'm writing and I'm channeling genius, the feeling is indescribable. It's truly a thrill to be in the body that's channeling it. It's so thrilling and exciting. Just the experience of writing, of creating, that's the joy. That's the gift. That's what feels the very best. And honestly, for my creatives out there, be grateful that you have such easy access to it. If you're a musician, you pick up the guitar and you just start noodling and you just come out with some, and it just flows. Enjoy that experience. Don't waste it. Don't dull yourself with drugs and alcohol and shitty relationships and shitty people and shitty thinking and negativity, and don't waste it being around negative people and people that are jealous of you and people that are fucking bleak and shit. Like don't, it's such a gift to be able to channel whatever you want to channel. Moon, Mercury, and Aquarius, you have this, everyone has this brief moment to channel genius in that area of life, to get the higher notes of it. Okay? And whatever your natal chart says, whatever you're born as and born with, those are what you can channel. That's your thing, okay? Moon conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. Individuality is serious business. Consciously, you'll step into the role of responsibility for your weirdness or own some part of your process of individuation. Unconsciously, you might alienate supporters away from you if you're being inauthentic, or if you're trying to impress people with money, status, or anything stupid like that, because that stuff doesn't matter. Being good company because you have your own knowledge. Being good company because you have your own knowledge, your own curiosity, your own interests as directed by your own guidance. Not anything material or status, like none of that is meaningful. None of that is who you are. So don't lie about who you are to impress others. And of course, least of all to yourself. Why do I keep writing this in here? Whenever I try to be normal, it blows up in my face. Every single time. I've learned by now. So if I can spare you guys any, I try to. Okay. Oh, here we go. The good part. Tarot. Okay. This is exciting because you guys, I've got a new deck This, oh my God, you guys, I was so, oh my God, I downright coveted this freaking deck. Like, I just coveted this deck. Like, oh my God. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's based on some downloads that I've been getting. Why is this little hair? Come on. Sorry. Okay. Tell us about this week ahead for anyone that I am channeling. And it's still where you guys can see me shuffling. Hopefully nothing weird happens. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Check this out, you guys. This deck, the golden foil. No, wait. It's holographic. Anyway. Oh my God. Okay. So I got this download. It's not even a download. It was more like one of those super spiritual experiences. So you know how sometimes you'll just look out and you'll see the little waves? You'll see the, of life, kind of. And you know how in the Matrix, there's that part where Neo, hold on, it's right here, where Neo does this thing with his, in the first, of course, he does this thing, and you see all the numbers, and he like kind of bends with him, and he starts to see the Matrix for those numbers for what it really is. That happened to me. And this deck shows you what life really looks like. This is what life really looks like. Everything is vibration, and you can see all the squiggles, you can see all of the movements. And then I saw Van Gogh. Van Gogh saw it like this. That's why his paintings are like that. It's like I saw this deck and it's just been like really weighing on me. And then finally, like the pressure just built up like so strong, and I just like had to get it. And so now that I look at it, I get like crazy downloads about it. So this is the new vibe. Okay, but back to what this card means. So clearly you are thinking about something, and in your meditations you're going to be seeing some stuff. You might be resting to do something pretty epic. Some of you are on a plane, some of you are traveling, looking out the window. You are resting because you're either going to change everything or you feel like everything's about to change. Everything's about to change, huh? Again. You got the star last week. Radiant. This is absolutely radiant. Glimmers. Do you know what glimmers are? Glimmers are the opposite of triggers. So there are things that trigger your unconscious biases, your unconscious pains, stored trauma, ancestral trauma, past life trauma, karma. And the triggers come up for you to understand and recognize and deal with and alchemize. But glimmers are the opposite. Glimmers are sort of these moments of beauty and love and faith and future and serenity. And this is like you're outside sitting on the grass and you just have this spacey moment of appreciation for the sea in front of you, or just like the moment that you're living in life. It might even feel transcendent, or there might be some kind of beauty that feels transcendent. You might have like a garden, or like a little animal, or something really precious to you. But it just takes you out of this reality. This is very meditative too. Both of this, very meditative. Let's get one more card for this week ahead. Look at this one. Okay, what I'm getting from this one is, oh, look at the bottom, mother of pearl. Sorry, I had to water him, or like soak him in water, however it goes. Okay, so here we have the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, and the Sun. Let's do this. Let me just show you a little bit like. I just want you guys to really see these cards. Like, I hope you get it. I hope I'm making sense to someone out here. Ah, there you are. It's worth it. Worth fighting for. Oh, and the happy baby. Okay, so what I'm getting from this, for some of you, this is going to be some kind of hype. Some kind of hype, and anything and everything will be hype. But I'm getting something that supports this, where something starts out as maybe a petty criticism, or here's the thing, nothing can knock the star down. You can't take it away. You can't, you can't like rescind. So this really isn't doing anything. It's only creating friction. It's only creating energy, to be honest. And what I'm getting is that if you're excited about something, there may be people that criticize you or that don't understand what you're doing or why you're doing it. And what she's showing me is like their anger, it's like their energy kind of pulsates and it clusters, and then it makes like a cone. It makes like a I don't know how to explain, but it's like they're like Bowser from like Nintendo, and it clusters and then they make these spikies all over them. So there's spikies all around them, and you just feel like your energy, your etheric shield, like your etheric body, like your etheric web, your etheric web, like you can feel their prickliness. So they might even say, "Do you want some coffee?" Or they might say, "Close the door." They might say something and you just feel their like pokies, like just poking you. And if they're outright criticizing something that you love or that you're excited about, there's nothing that they can do. This is why people are petty. All they can do is try and distract you. All they can do is try to take away your inspiration. So all of my creatives watching that channel genius, do not let anyone ever come in between you and your channeling. Because you can get to a vibratory frequency. It's like entering a room in a house that no one else even knows exists. If you have a special talent or a skill or a love or a flair or anything at all, that is special for you. You are here to experience channeling this pure, special energy. You do not let anyone come in between that. You don't let anyone's pettiness distract you. What I like about this, the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, and the Sun, is that this is finally over. Being so defensive and being so like having to fight just to like be happy and be who you are, and like that, the mental anguish is over. It's done. Someone might even betray you right before you have everything in life. If that's the case, it's like the last sword that they try to stick in you. But that doesn't do anything either. It's just what you needed to see. It's what you needed to know about that person. And that knowledge, like whatever the mental agony is that's over, about being defensive or about like fight, everything that you've understood, everything that you've learned, you've had to think about this very consciously. But something about this happy news, like the star and the sun, those are two luminaries. This is very special. Something about what you're learning or what you've learned gets to pass over into your subconscious control. That power, that control goes from the conscious to the subconscious, like riding a bike. When you first learn to ride a bike with two wheels, all of your conscious attention is on riding that bike. But once you've learned it, that control and that power becomes a subconscious thing. It goes into the subconscious. So then you're riding your bike and you're eating a cheeseburger, you're smoking a cigarette, you're listening to music, you're recording on your phone, like you're doing all these other things. But riding the bike is a subconscious behavior now. So it's almost like if you were fighting to stay positive, or if you're overcoming some mental thing. This is a mental accomplishment that maybe it's about defensiveness. Maybe it's about fighting the good fight. Maybe it's about boundaries. Maybe it's about protecting yourself. But whatever it is, you conquer it and it becomes a subconscious behavior, and you won't have to try so hard to put up a boundary or hold a boundary or protect yourself or protect what's important to you, whatever it happens to be. And it's because Everything turns. So it's going to be really quiet first. There might be this betrayal. There might be some mental anguish that's sort of coming into... Thanks, Natalie. Might be coming like done, but even if that's the case, even if something is really mentally painful and it's like finally over, you still have downtime to meditate and rest and recuperate. And right on time, everything changes. Life totally changes. And you will have to be responsible for this. You will have to be responsible for you keeping a calm mind, protecting the device, taking care of the device that channels, if it's genius, if it's creativity, if it's scientific genius, if it's like whatever, or even if it's just peace and positivity and serenity. Like the world needs that. The world needs people to be just more positive and peaceful to each other. So even if you're someone that can just promote that, that's important. So there will be a little bit of spikies over here, but they can't really touch you. They can't really do anything to you. They can't really, all they can do is try and distract you. All they can do is try and get you to upset your peace and serenity. All they can do is try to disrupt your meditations. All they can do is try to come in between you and your channeling. But you're learning some lesson where you're not letting that happen. So you needed this person or the situation to show you how to be peaceful and how to not let anything touch you. This is pretty powerful. So be grateful for this experience, even though it's painful, because you had to learn how to do this to protect your peace. So there is some kind of boundary here, but it's protecting your heart, it's protecting your happiness, your brilliance. And if you are channeling anything like that, you have a responsibility to steward it. That's the right word. All right, let's get... Okay. Let's get your Natalinian Oracle. Oh my God. Alright. What's the guidance for this week ahead, please? Thank you. We've got relief. See? That's perfect. Perfect for the star energy. And then we also have keep your own wise counsel. Oh my gosh. Okay. Look at the jellyfish. Keep your own wise counsel. Meditate. This is so clearly like go into your meditations. What do you feel? Okay. And let yourself embrace any of the wild changes that do happen, any of the big reversals. Trust that all the reversals and all the ups and downs and all the side to sides is all happening to your benefit. Okay. Okay, my loves, I hope that you... Yes! I love this deck too. I am telling you. You will start to see life and you will start to see the truth of life and all the vibratory energies. It's just like, that's what I love about this deck, is that you see, like, this is it. This is exactly what it looks like. This is exactly what life looks like, I feel like. This is like Neo seeing the numbers when he's in the Matrix and seeing the Matrix for what it really is. That's what this is. That's what this deck is. Okay. I love you guys. Take very good care. Have a great flight back. Until next time, my dearies, many, many beautiful blessings upon all... Uh-oh. Hold on, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready at all yet. I'm not ready for your blessings yet. I'm not ready. Okay. Bless you, kind souls. Bless you, all of you. Until next time, my dearies, have a great flight back. Many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.